True crime takes center stage tonight, and so does the actor who brings the detective's relentless pursuit of justice to life. Starring an upcoming Lionsgate chilling thriller, Boneyard, hitting video on demand in the US and Canada on July 2nd and US theaters on July 5th, inspired by real events. Let's give a warm welcome to Brian Van Holt, who portrays Detective Ortega in the film. Thanks for joining us, by the way. And Boneyard is a chilling new thriller, a crime drama based on true events. Can you tell us a bit about what drew you to this project?
Oh man, well, it's a long story, so but I know we don't have a lot of time. I'll be quick. I filmed a show in Albuquerque, New Mexico, where I saw a local news story about uh, the West Mesa murders that our film is inspired by, and then I saw an episode of Dateline not too long afterwards that had this story. And while I was in Albuquerque, and then I talked to some of the we got to work with the APD closely with our show, and got to meet some of the detectives that actually were involved with the specific case that inspired our story. Um, so I knew about it um, before I read the script, and then I, oh, and I met the writer Vincent McDaniel on our set where he was helping craft service on Deputy, and uh, it, and so 3 years, he said, I'm not, I don't do this for a living. I'm a writer and I'm a producer, and we're going to make a movie someday together. And 3 years later, here we are. So that's what drew me to this, and it's a great script, and it's a great film. And so, it was a no brainer for me to want to be a part of this.
Yeah, I remember the whole story actually. And after the movie, I went online and I did a little research, and I was just, what really touched my heart was when I saw the names and the pictures of the
Yeah.
victims. That was just heartbreaking. So, it's just incredible that they haven't found the person who did it, to this day.
Well, I agree with you. It was heartbreaking. I think that's why I was so I think, connected to it or had an emotional response to it. It was incredibly, because I didn't know about this story, but it just struck a chord with me. It was really sad. And I was so surprised that we are where we are with in terms of trying to solve that case.
Yeah.
Um, and that's the thing I hope, hopefully this our film can, bring some awareness maybe, to these unsolved cases and
Yeah.
help, you know, more attention to it where we can solve some of these unsolved cases.
Right. Now you play Detective Ortega, which is actually a key player in this investigation. Can you describe his approach to this complex case and what motivates him?
Well, yeah, so yes, well, without giving too much away, because if
Right, right.
Detective Ortega is, let's say he's personally invested and connected in trying to solve this case. Um, I wish I could reveal why, but it's a plot point story, which I don't want to give away. But it's personal, it's high stakes for him, and trying to solve this case because it could help him redeem himself in terms of some of the mistakes that he might have made in his past. What I'm trying to what else can I articulate without giving it away? Um, I'll just say it's personal, and he's a very intense, seasoned homicide detective. And if you ever met and spent some time with a homicide detective, it's a special crew of individuals. Can you only imagine? It's a tough, for lack of a better way of articulating, it's a tough job.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
tough mindset,
Hard on your
and
soul. Yeah, it's definitely hard on your soul. And definitely Detective Ortega has, he carries that around with him. And so hopefully I was able to bring some of those layers to this guy.
Yeah. Now, how was you had a stellar cast? So, how was your experience working alongside Curtis 50 Cent Jackson and Mel Gibson?
This is my second film with 50. And I love working with 50. He's funny. You know, people don't know this about 50, but he's got a great sense of humor. He's got some comedy chops. So I think his next film, yeah, I want to do it with him. Hopefully he'll do a comedy, but um, it's a different character for him to play chief of police, which I think, you know, he really wanted to play something different. Um, and I think he killed it. And Mel is, I'm a big fan of Mel's. I've never worked or met Mel until this film. But he was one of my, you know, I grew up being a big fan of Mel Gibson. Um, he's a legend, you know, an Academy Award
Yeah.
director. I mean, he's good. I mean, that's special. You know, I've been blessed in my career to work with such talented, you know, individuals like Mel Gibson. But I'd say he's very, you know, kind, and he made me feel comfortable immediately. You know, we got to write some scenes together, like change a little bit here and there. If anything, you know, dialogue needed to be tweaked, or if we wanted to, you know, add something here or there with scenes, we had that access, and it was just surreal and, you know, great to be able to work opposite Mel Gibson and to, you know, rewrite some stuff with him in a room together. With chopping scenes up and writing it was special. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
That must
Yeah.
be exciting. The film draws inspiration from the true crimes. Did any real life detective stories influence your portrayal of Detective Ortega?
Um, well, my uncle was a detective. You know, I come from a family full of cops, so I draw a lot on my family, my family's personal experience and my interpretation of that. Um, I sense, you know, there's a sense of like, I don't know, my uncle had a lot of a sense of loss. Um, he took things personally, and became personally invested, not only in the victims and the victim, but the victim's family. To help bring closure, help bring some sort of healing. And when he didn't fulfill that, he took it personally, and it weighed on him. So I tried to use some of that,
Yeah.
my guy, for Detective Ortega, for me to I try to use some of his experience, and you know, try to connect those dots.
Well, you did a great job, that's for sure. Your performance was just amazing.
Thank
I
you.
you know, I saw the film a couple of days ago, and honestly, you stood out. Like, your performance was excellent. So,
Appreciate it. Thank you.
should be proud of that, you know. And hey, I see no problem you play detective in the future either, you know, in all the roles you've done. But what was the most memorable moment while filming?
Filming Boneyard.
Yeah, Boneyard.
I think Mel Gibson, first day, um, we had in between, you know, we're trying to figure out the scene, and he's so funny. He just immediately like let down his guard. He had Nora and I laughing um, all day long in the car, in between takes and while we were shooting a film. While there's a sandstorm going on outside, we had so many different hurdles, and you know,
Yeah, he sounds like the part where you picked him up from the airport and you guys are driving. That scene,
yes,
Nora told me that he ad-libbed a lot of that
he
stuff.
did, and he's a constant. I mean, you can have a whole film of what he was just riffing on stuff between. I mean, it was funny. So he had me in stitches that day. Oh, I mean, that whole scene. You're right. That's exactly right. Me and Nora were like, we're dying, but so many different memorable moments. I can't, you know, uh, but I just, well, you know, I think it's just fond of working with Mel. Fond of working with everybody. I love working with Nora and everybody that we did this film with. It was special. It's a special movie to be a part of.
The film delves into darkness.
Mhm.
of hidden crimes. Is there a message of hope or determination that resonates with you from this film?
Well, I mean, I hope this movie can bring some awareness
Right.
to some of these unsolved cases and some of the issues that we have, like with human trafficking, um, and the missing women, not only just Albuquerque and New Mexico, but all the mistreatment and the missing women, internationally. And I just hope that would bring some more attention and shine a light on the issues, and hopefully they can, you know, bring some attention to solve these cases that are unsolved, and help the families and the victims' families have some sort of help them heal and have closure, I guess. That would
With
be, yeah.
with a film like this, are there any favorite detective shows or movies that influenced you or that you would recommend to other viewers? Like, what's your favorite, like, for you, detective movie other than this?
Oh gosh. I mean, what? I mean, and I'm not sure that they did what's called like French Connection is like it's an old one, but I think what contemporary one that people can kind of relate to and know about, um, Den of Thieves. Just kidding. I'm in that film.
I was
Uh,
hoping they Law and Order Special Victims Unit, but
yeah, yeah. No, dude, Homicide, Life on the Streets.
yeah.
Good show. Homicide was a great show. The Wire, amazing. But yeah, those are some good shows right there.
Did you also? I know you said that your family was based on being detectives and so on. Did you take some ideas from those shows too, like a little bit of it, and came up with your own style
Did I take some ideas from my family, from my shows?
for your family and the shows?
Family, 100%. And SWAT, I'm playing my cousin. And I always anything I do, that's behind the shield related, I always draw from my family and experience. I try not to take, I try not to draw from acting or shows. I try to just do my work and draw from real people, characters. But sometimes you can't help but be inspired by a quality TV show too.
Bruce Lee used to say that you study everyone's style and then you come up with your own.
That's
He
a good way to put it.
And I've heard a lot of actors, professional actors say things like that. Like they'll study everything. They'll study everyone. And then they just, like Gene Hackman, just becomes that person. I have a friend who directed him in Uncommon Valley, and they were good friends. And he told me when Gene read the script, he became the actor while reading the script for the first time. Who could do that?
Yeah. Right. Gene Hackman.
Gene
Yeah.
Hackman, just totally amazing. Totally amazing.
Well, yeah, he's a phenomenal actor. That's another person I grew up admiring, wanting to emulate.
What are the specific challenges when you were portraying Detective Ortega? What were the hard challenges when you were filming with that character?
Great question. I mean, the hard challenge is this. It's just, I mean, wanting to portray him in the most authentic way with, and give, honor that story and honor the victims and the victim's family. I mean, that's the challenging part. I don't know. I mean, it's heavy too. It's like when it's letting go of some of the darkness that you kind of, dive into. Getting out of that can be challenging sometimes. I tend to take things on and take things home. It doesn't leave me. Can't turn off that switch real quick, but um, those things are. I mean, I guess those things would be challenging. And it's really like really kind of like committing and diving into the that kind of those kind of shadows that Detective Ortega has, that kind of darkness and getting to that place. It can be, it gets, it's more uncomfortable than challenging.
Right. So, your performance shows, the movie shows, it's a great film. It seems like everyone, the whole cast had chemistry, and I've basically interviewed most of the cast members, and they all said the same thing. This film is for awareness too, and I concur with all that because when I saw the film, I said the same thing. This is just going to open eyes to a lot of people, and God bless you for being in the film. Uh, to everyone who's a cast and for the director too, great job, and I wish you luck in the film. I doubt you're going to have any good luck because the way I saw the film was just beautifully. I think he's going to do perfect. So,
Thank you.
Boneyard's to be released on video demand nationwide in the U.S. and in Canada on July 2nd, which is tomorrow, and in the U.S. theater on July 5th. So God bless you, Brian, and you take care.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Thank you for your time. I enjoy it.
No problem.